first question. How did having kids affect you?
Whew. My kids, as I've always said, saved my life, let's just say. I have my son, I have two kids. I have a 9-year-old daughter and I have a 19-year-old son. And I had my son when I was 25, and I was in a relationship that was not your best, I guess you could say. I was in a 10-year relationship with a guy that I met when I was 16. I moved in with him as soon as I graduated 17. He was 21, and we was living the life.
So how was you able to move with a guy at 16?
Well, so I was a military brat growing up.
Okay.
But then
Is it your mom or
both?
both?
Yes, both
Okay.
my parents were in the Army. They got divorced, separated when I was 12. When I turned 14, we were living in Washington State at the time, and my dad left and went overseas. He was shipped to Saudi Arabia and pretty much never came back. And so my mom had to go to Korea. She had to be stationed in Korea. Of course, we're still in school. I had a younger brother at the time. We're still in school, of course, and I had to move to Virginia to go stay with family, my mom's mom and sister. I bounced around a whole lot.
And that's just because they were out on active duty.
Right. So my dad had moved here actually to Texas, to Houston. But back then we didn't have phones and this social media and all this stuff. So me and my dad didn't have any type of
constant
communication.
contact.
Right. So you know how that goes. You go through a nasty divorce. My mom, of course, kept us away from him. Didn't have no communication. We didn't do any of that. So I ended up moving to North Carolina, and my mom had made it seem like I was just a rebellious child, which I kind of was, because me and my dad were best friends. And so I was kind of like, I didn't want to hear nothing that she had to say.
So you
I
felt some type of way by them being gone?
Yes, I definitely blame my mom. I did.
Wow.
But that's not, because me and my mom never had a good relationship. Never had a good relationship. Like I said, I was always me and my dad. And when he left, I was broken. I was broken. And I didn't care about anything. So I ended up, like I said, moving there, and she had already put in their heads that, I'm just a bad child. So, man, I lived with my aunt, I lived with my grandma, I lived with my cousin, I lived with my other aunt. I just bounced around. I got kicked out of school, and because I got in fights, because no one liked me, because I was, you know how it is, you're the new girl. Yep, you're the new girl. And I had like a little city twang with my talk, and we were living in the country. I mean, the country. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, and half of the population is my family at that. So I got kicked out of school. I got kicked out of the whole district, and I ended up having to move. And so I ended up having to move with my grandma. As soon as I got to that school out there, I got in another fight out there. It was just a mess, and I was just kind of over it at this point. I was like, I'm done. I only needed 3 credits. I was like, as soon as I'm done, because I graduated, I had to go to school the first semester, and I was done. And after that, and I had met him, my child's father, and throughout the years that I was there. And one day, when semester was up, Christmas break was coming, the school told us we didn't have to come back. It was a bad snowstorm. And they were like, y'all don't have to come back. Y'all just wait to come back when it's time to graduate. As soon as I heard that, I was like, come get me. Right now. He slipped and slided all through that snow, came and picked me up, and it was all she wrote.
Wow.
He was in, at that time he was a big time drug dealer. So that's how that ended up happening. And like I said, I'm 16, 17 years old, and he just sent me wherever I wanted, taking care of me.
Yeah.
At that age, I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm living the life. So everything was cool. We was together, like I said, 8 years that went by, and then I finally ended up getting pregnant with my son. And by this time, my house had been raided 3 times. And the 3rd time I was pregnant. And that was like the worst, because I literally set up and bought everything and did everything to my son's room. I painted, I bought everything, like it was bad. And not even 2 weeks later, our house gets raided, and they destroyed everything in there.
They destroyed
Everything. They destroyed my whole entire house though, but my baby's room was what broke my heart. So when that happened, and he ended up going to jail, and
so he went to jail that day.
He ended up going to jail, and by this time he had been in jail probably 4, 5, 6, 7 times by this time. So it was nothing that I wasn't used to, but it was different this time because now I'm pregnant.
You got a baby,
and I got a baby coming, and I'm by myself. So I ended up, after I had my child, he got out right before I had him, and then not even 6, 7 months later, he got in trouble again. No, our house did get raided again. Our house got raided again after that, and then he ended up going to jail. And this time I was like, you know what? I can't do this with my son. I can't do this.
Especially with a baby.
Yeah, I can't. And out there we live, because again, it's so small. Oh, they tortured me. Like, I got pulled over every day. I got searched every day. I got put on the ground every day.
This was in Texas?
No, this was in North Carolina.
Okay,
yeah, this was in North Carolina. We lived on the North Carolina-Virginia line, so it was back and forth, but we lived in North Carolina. And, like, they hated us. Like, they just hated us. You know, there's the police and everybody. So that's just what it was. The sheriff lived literally right down the street from us. So, like, I was harassed every time I pulled out of my driveway. They made sure they pulled me over every chance they could get. And I was just over it. Like, I was over it. And then when the last time when he finally got out after that, I was like, you know what? I gotta go. Like, I gotta go. And I literally packed up 2 suitcases, my baby, in 2007, and I moved to Killeen, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And I started over and moved here in 2009, and I've been here ever since.
How old were you when you moved to Killeen?
26.
Oh, did you know him?
I knew my dad was there. By this time my dad had retired, but he was still contracting for the military.
What is the Army?
So Fort
Hood?
Fort Hood, yes. And that's where he was working at the time. But of course, and then as soon as I got there, he ended up moving to Houston. So, but again, it is what it is. So I ended up staying there, and then I ended up, like I said, finding a job here in Dallas. And then I moved here in 2009, and I've just been here ever since.
Wow.
So yeah, my child definitely saved my life, because it could have been worse for me I feel like if I hadn't gotten pregnant, I probably, most definitely. I would have been going down to, or I would have been dead. Like, it was a lot.
Wow.
It was a lot.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Yolanda the model and a couple more questions. All right, welcome back to Sleep Talk with Yvette. And again, we have Yolanda the model. That is our interview for today. So we're going to just backtrack on as far as your kids. Do you feel like that you are the same type of parent that your parents were? No? I'm
the total opposite. And what I mean by that is, my parents weren't affectionate parents. They're military. You know, they're very stern and fight book and beat that ass, you know what I'm saying? But I'm totally different. Like, we didn't grow up telling each other we loved each other, you know, and we just wasn't affectionate. With my kids, we tell each other we love each other every time we talk. Like, every day. My daughter literally probably tells me she loves me 50 times a day. No lie. Just randomly. You know what I mean? And I made sure that it's hard when you're growing up in a military lifestyle, because I feel like I raised my brother, and I did everything, because they're on a set schedule. They're taken from you months at a time, you know, going overseas or going to the field and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, I had to do everything. Like, I had to take my brother to school. I had to get him ready for school. I had to help him with his homework.
So
I had to pick him up.
Is it a bad life? I don't know, because this is like a catch-22. You can have a parent that maybe like on Section A and always had some type of government assistance, versus a parent that's always been able to take care and have some type of stability for their kids. So is it like a bad thing being an Army?
It has its pros and cons. the cons are, of course, moving around. So I never really could make friends, you know. And like I said, back then we didn't have the social media and stuff. And, you know, trying to call somebody long distance, you paid for that. You know what I mean? So if y'all didn't say the same prefix, that was it.
Yeah.
So it was hard.
It didn't like try build like any type of character, being in different states and cities.
It was a good thing because I get to experience a lot of stuff growing up as a child.
Yeah.
I also lived in Germany as well. That was a great experience for me. You know, like just seeing the different lifestyles, like at a young age, just growing up, like you see different things versus going back to my family who has never left the state of North Carolina.
See?
Or never left the state of Virginia. You know what I mean? So it was a lot different. So they didn't understand why I did the things that I did or why I would leave. Like they don't even want to go leave the school, like go off to school in another state. Everything was right there in one space, and they were looks like crabs in the bucket. I couldn't do that. Yeah. I didn't grow up like that, so that was a good thing.
So that was one of the benefits.
Right, that was definitely good benefits because another thing, they were still racist back then. Like that was one of the reasons why I got kicked out of school because a kid had called me a nigger, and I went ham. Wow. And I started a whole riot in the school, like, and I'm ready to throw down, and it was normal to them. I didn't understand that. You know what I mean? So those were the different things that I dealt with, and I had to fight every day. Like even when I was in Germany, I had to fight all the time for me or for my brother. I was fighting, and it made me strong. And I don't take anything away from my childhood because it made me who I am today. Yeah. And it made me strong, and I know how to survive. You know, and not have to depend on everybody, and I'll make a way out of no way. I'll do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was definitely different because it'd be different if you had one parent in the military and maybe a stay-at-home mom or something.
One stable
somebody, yeah. But when both of them, it's like, it was hard. You know, it was hard. So I didn't want to be that. Like, I'm a workaholic, yes, but I still make time for my children. And I try to do what I can, and I make sure that I'm there for them. I make sure that I tell them that I love them. They can. I'm always talking to them and motivating them and whatever. You know, my parents kind of lost that. I didn't get that.
So you didn't get that.
I didn't get that. They were so focused on their career, focused on each other and their drama. You know, and I don't understand as a child, but growing up, I see and I understand, like, they're bumping heads, you know, they're always fighting and all this stuff, like, and I was like, I don't want that for my kids. Yeah. I don't want it. And that's where I left my child's father. Like, we're not going to grow up, he's not going to grow up like that. Yeah. We're not going to do that. So, yeah.
So, what is one of the biggest mistakes that you've made in life and you've learned from today?
The biggest mistakes I made from life? Never thought about that. You know, because I don't really think it's mistakes. It's life.
It is.
You know,
so let me maybe like rephrase it. That mistake that, well, if you don't want to call it a mistake, that time or that point in life that you keep replaying in your head and like, I know better, I do better, like, now type of situation.
Yeah. Probably my child's father. I wish I had. I honestly used to get mad at myself because I do wish that I had to join the military when I graduated.
Oh, wow.
I do. I wish I had to join the military, and because if I had joined the military, I would have been retired by the time living my best life. Yeah. But then the thing about that is, I don't think I would have my kids.
Because you would have had to sacrifice the beginning of it.
Absolutely. And it wouldn't have been time for that. But sometimes I do wish I had just took that advantage and joined it, because there was so much that I know now that I didn't know then to take advantage of, that, you know, when it comes to the military. So right now it's kind of rough with the military, but at that age, I wish I had did it. I wish I had did it instead of going, you know, I was just trying to get away. Yeah. Because, you know, at that point, I was just trying to get away from everybody. I was tired of people. I was tired of people trying to tell me what to do, talking about me, fighting. I was tired of it. And I was like, let me just go over here with him. And if I had just actually took the time to think and really think about life and my future and what it could have been, like, I definitely would have joined the Army.
Okay. My next question is, do you think you've been loved properly? By anyone? Not your kids.
I was going to say my kids.
No, that's more of a given to some people. To some people.
Yeah, no.
No?
Mm-mm. My child's father, I've only been in 2 relationships, and they were both 10 years. obviously the first one that wasn't love with everything that we went through. And I was young.
You was
16.
totally young.
I was 16. Yeah. And then when I got in my second relationship, I had moved here. It was in 2009 when I got here and met my child's father. But he just didn't. He just didn't. I just know he didn't. He loved me, but he wasn't in love with me. He wasn't, because he's the type of person that don't like to be alone. So, I think it was just one situation he just got comfortable in the setting and what we had going on. And looking back at it now, it wasn't the love that I wanted. Like now I know what kind of love I want. That's why I've been single for 8-9 years, because I know what I want, and I know when I'm gonna know when I know it, when I see it, I'm gonna feel. Yeah, I'm gonna know now.
You know.
Yes, now I will know. So that's how I know I wasn't loved properly. Because if that was the case, I would feel like I would want to still be with him, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. We have a good relationship, but I don't want to be with him like that.
When did you know that you didn't want to be with him if y'all had been together for 10 years?
Probably the last 2 years of our relationship, and we both knew it. But I think I had just had my daughter too. So, and it was like right after that. And then I ended up getting pregnant again after I had her. And that's when I almost died. And then I lost the baby. And I was going through so much after that happened. And I didn't feel like he was there for me like he should have been there for me. And then it made me start looking at things different. It started making me look at him different. It started making me look at our relationship and over the years different. And I was like, this ain't it.
It makes you open up your eyes.
Yeah, it definitely makes you open up your eyes. And then again, everything happens for a reason. There's no way I could have had another baby with him. And then we wouldn't have been together. Then I would have been sitting with 3 kids by myself. Like it just wasn't.
Well, are y'all still in contact with each
other?
other?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a good relationship.
Y'all just
I have a good relationship with both my kids' fathers, and we're just cool. So yeah, we're good.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take another quick break, and we definitely will be right back. So stay tuned. Welcome back. So we're just gonna get right back into it. My next question is, are you living or are you surviving in 2024 right now?
I'm living. I'm loving life right now. Okay. I'm loving it.
Okay. So is it something like that keeps you up at night to where you like, okay, Yolanda, I need to change this, I need to fix this, and it wakes you up in the morning?
Mm-hmm. I'm good. I like the direction I'm in. I've been through so much that I'm in such peace in my life right now that I don't let anything disturb it. Like, as long as me and my kids are good, I'm good. Like, I don't have no issues with nobody. I stay to myself. You see, when you don't have all these people around you, like I did growing up and causing ruckus and chaos in your life and the drama, man, let me tell you, I'm in and out, okay? Whatever I do, and I keep myself busy. And as long as I'm keeping myself busy doing what I love to do, like, that's everything to me. That's everything to me.
So it sounds like to me that you are at peace and you know how to love yourself. How long did it take for you to find out, okay, I love myself?
That's a good question, because that's exactly how I started doing what I'm doing now, as far as the modeling, because I lost myself obviously throughout my journey and my relationships. And when I was with my last daughter, with her father, like I was really into family, so I was taking care of everybody. Like it was, my focus was on them, because he also had three other kids from a previous relationship. And so they were always with us. So we were definitely living a family setting. Like when we did family trips, we did everything. Like everything was about them though. Like I made sure I took care of home. Even though I worked and I felt like I was a mom. I was a real mom. You know, I'm not just taking care of my kids, but someone else's kids as well.
Yeah.
And I did that for years. And it wasn't always great, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And like I said, after I came to that moment where I realized, you know, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And I went through my little depression stage, I'm not gonna lie, after we split or whatever, because now I'm looking like, here I am, 2 kids by myself. What do I do? Do I leave? Do I move? Do I go back home? Do I go stay? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't want to do that.
Between,
right?
The gray area where you don't know.
Right, because I'm literally having to start all over, because we had a house together, like we had everything, and I'm just like, what do I do now? What am I supposed to do? Like, at this time, my daughter's like almost 1, so
wow.
And my son is 11, so they're still young, you know, and I know what I went through when my parents, you know, got divorced, and the trauma that I, you know, went through and everything like that, and I didn't want that for them, so I was like, I gotta get it together, like I have to figure this out. And it took me about 2 years, and I started working on me. And that's why I've been single for so long, because I have grown to love myself so much that I refuse to let anybody take that from me.
Yeah.
And I refuse to lose it. And that's what keeps me going. And then of course the love of my kids and, you know, things like that. But loving yourself, like, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody.
No.
You can't. You can't love them the right way, the proper way. You don't know until you love yourself. And that's what it took. It took me a good 2 years to get it together. I started the modeling thing, and that definitely helped. You know, I started, you know, doing things for me now. Like, because like I said before, it's just about everybody else. But now I'm taking care of me. I'm making myself look cute, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. Like, whatever I need to do to keep a smile on my face. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not the fake smile to make people think you're okay. You know, because we always try to hide and act like everything's okay. We're broken. Right. We're broken. But no, I could actually say when I smile, I mean that smile is coming from my heart. You know, because I love, and that's how you make it through life, with love. You know, you have to treat everything with love. You know what I mean? So it took a while, but I got there, and I'm great now. I'm so great in that piece, and I love it.
So we're gonna say when, I'm a big speaker of words. You speak stuff into existence. So when you do get in another relationship, do you feel that the relationship should be 50-50? Or should he play more of a role?
You know, I don't know if it's like a 50-50 thing. I think if you know what it is to be a provider on both ends, you know, not just the man, but also as a woman, it's not really a 50-50 thing, it's a come together thing. Where either way, somebody's gonna pick up the slack and make it work. You know what I'm saying? Not just you do this and I'm gonna do this and that's just it. No, like we gonna do this together.
It's like a team.
So, it's absolutely
you know what
a team.
The team can't be like, okay, I just did my part, and then you go in and do yours.
Right, like this team, you just gonna play offense only, and I'll play defense only, and that's all we're gonna do the whole entire time together. No, we can't do that. Yeah. We can't do that. So no, it's not, I don't see it as a 50-50, or you do this or you do that. I can do the same thing you do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can come in and cook dinner, you can come in and cook dinner. I can take out the trash, you can take out the trash. I can cut the grass, you can cut the grass. Like, whatever we see, if something needs to be done, do it. It shouldn't be about, oh, you the man, you need to go out there and do it. Like, I can change the tire. You can change the tire, right? Okay, there we go, bam. Like, what? Like, simple stuff. Like, it shouldn't be that complicated. Like, you shouldn't go into a relationship trying to figure out, oh, well, what you gonna do for me? Well, what you gonna do for me? What you like?
It's not
at all. Because when you truly love somebody, and everybody has their own definition of love. So, whatever you feel like love is, as long as you have that, nothing else matters. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. You're going to make sure it gets done. You're going to make sure that person is happy. you're gonna make sure you're always there for that person, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever.
Yeah.
And make it work. And that's just it. And that's all I want. That's it. Just like I'm not
It's
gonna
so
come to you
simple.
like it is. It's
so
very
simple.
It's very simple.
But I think people don't grasp that concept of it anymore like they used to. So everybody is microwave.
Right.
It's a microwave relationship with everybody now.
Yeah.
You don't even take out the time to learn that person.
Right.
You just hop into a relationship with them and start posting on social media.
Right. And that.
And all that type of shit.
Social media is the
So you don't even get a chance to know that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me personally, you can't even see my kids within the 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't even let even my husband. I wouldn't let, and that was something that he respected of me.
Yeah.
I need to get to know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Before I let you get to know my kids, before I let you get to know my family,
Right.
I need to get to know you.
Right.
Because you can do that, even putting you on social media, which I'm, not even offended unless we in a real relationship.
Right.
But it's just so microwave now.
It is, yeah. And I'm big on the whole. But my daughter, she's 9. No one will ever come to my house. Like, no, it's always off limits. Like, don't ever ask me. So you think you're gonna date me? You're not coming over. Like, I'm not doing none of that. Like, we really need to be serious and end something before my child. Because first of all, I don't want my child getting attached. I know my baby's heart.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna allow him to break it.
Yeah.
And she's 9. She's not gonna understand. And so that's why I never.
And because I have 2 girls and a boy, and I don't want to put that on them to where they feel like it's okay for the in and out.
Absolutely.
It ain't okay for the in
It's
and
not.
out. And I don't want you to be looking at me because I'm the model before anybody else.
Absolutely.
I'm the blueprint.
Absolutely.
And I don't want you to be looking at me and thinking that it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to preach to you, don't be around doing this with all these boys.
Yeah,
but I got different men coming in and you seen different men out of these different types.
Well, you and he and him, no. We're not doing none of that. Yeah,
No.
she don't. My baby don't know nobody but her daddy. Like she don't know nobody but her daddy.
And if you're really serious about me, then you'll respect that.
Absolutely.
And you'll try to get to know me because you really want to get to know me.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So
that is very true.
It's tricky on a relationship part nowadays. People just don't take it as they used to.
They don't.
They don't respect the factor of it anymore.
I was lost, baby. I was lost because, like I said, I was in 2 10-year relationships, and I'm just like, how do I date again?
And girl,
like, what do I do?
I love myself. I was single for 8 years, and baby, I was single. You hear me? I was single
I was dating myself. I had good old time.
I was single.
I took myself on the date yesterday. Shoot.
I was dating myself. I was going to breakfast, lunch, dinner, all kinds of stuff. You want to take me to breakfast? Okay, I'm going to breakfast. Okay, I got another lunch day. Okay, I got a dinner day later on. Right. But that's how you're supposed to do. I tell people that all the time. When you single, enjoy the singleness.
You have to.
I don't care how long you've been single. And you got to enjoy the singleness. And then when you start talking to somebody, another pet peeve that irritates me is that you get too serious too fast. You can't even enjoy the fun part of getting to know somebody.
Right.
Because you too busy saying, okay, we finna be in a relationship, we finna move together. And
and that's another thing. The moving together thing. I'm not doing that no more either. And I did that, like I said, obviously with my 2 exes, but I'm not doing the moving in together. We're gonna keep separate living quarters, and if we decide to get married, then that's what we do. Because you can, and people would say, well, how do you know you could live with them? I didn't say I couldn't stay the night. Like, I'll learn that as time goes on. I can stay the night with them a couple of days and get a feel for it, see if I'm gonna like it. But just moving in, we've been together, no, I'm not doing that. We're gonna have to be married. I don't want to do any of that no more than shacking up. I'm over it. Like, I'm 43. I can't do it no more. Like, it's to a point where I'm the one and done with everything.
I feel
so,
or just don't waste my time.
Don't waste my time.
And my queendom by myself.
Exactly, because my home is my peace, and I want to keep it that way.
You hear me? One way or another.
Right.
Or without you.
Right.
Okay, so we'll be right back, and we'll be wrapping it up. So y'all stay tuned.
Start to Finish Mobile Detail Service, where we come to you, specializing in classic cars, boats, and private planes. Award-winning for the best interior detailing. Servicing the DFW area for over a decade. Experience top-notch care and convenience. Call us today at 214-223-0600 888-678-0653 or visit us online at starttofinishdetailing.com or follow us on social media at Start to Finish on Facebook or Start to Finish 08 on IG. Start to Finish Detailing. We bring the shine to you, keeping clean vehicles clean since 2008.
All right, welcome back to Sleep Talk with Yvette, and we do have Yolanda the model with us as well. Great interview so far. So let's dip back into it. What makes a person successful? Is it money? Is it power? Or is it knowledge to you?
To me, it's knowledge, because with the knowledge, the power and the money will come.
That's true.
So you definitely got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be willing to learn, because we learn every day. So we building that knowledge every day. So you have every opportunity to gain the money and the power in the process. So
let me play a scenario. So let's say we have a millionaire that is wanting to build, let's say, a hot dog business versus a knowledgeable guy that doesn't really have any money, but he's been working in the hot dog industry for a long time. Do you feel then that knowledge is more successful than money still?
Yeah, it still is, absolutely, because he just has the money. Does he know how to run that business? Probably not. He just thinks because he has money, that's all he needs. And he can just keep buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. And that's just it. And does he know anything about how to market himself? Did he know anything about how...
But he can pay for it.
He could pay for that, but he has to pay, like, the person with the knowledge, all that it will be his. So you have to source out here. And when someone who has the knowledge can gain all that knowledge on how to do all that himself, and he can build, and then he will become that millionaire as well.
Okay.
So either way, they both millionaires, yeah. But the knowledge of what you know with your business, you don't have to worry about paying this person, paying that person, or trusting this person or trusting that person with your money. Like this person, millionaire, he dealing with all these people that probably scamming him. Yep. They probably pocketing his money. They done took the money and he told them to go here and buy this product, and they took the money and did and went somewhere else with the money. Like it's so much that could go wrong with
which
that.
one would you talk to?
I'm gonna talk to him with the knowledge, because he's gonna build me up and we gonna build together. Like, because I can make my own money. And we can become a millionaire.
Yeah,
I can become
especially
a millionaire.
If he has the knowledge and
absolutely.
We can make the business.
Absolutely.
Because the millionaire can lose his money at any time.
He could die and the money gonna go to somebody else, and then or he ain't got no money at all, or like he can go bankrupt because he did something wrong with the money, and like I said, or somebody took the money from him and scammed him out of it, or it's just so much more when this person over here who has knowledge and knows exactly what he's doing from the beginning to the end, and because he took the time to learn and build his business on his own and don't have to worry about asking nobody for nothing.
You hear me?
That's who I need.
You said that, girl.
That's who I need.
You said that, girl. Okay, let's go on to, since you're a model and you've been modeling, have you ever experienced like they say the Me Too experience, where you don't have to get yourself out of a uncomfortable position being a model?
There's definitely uncomfortable positions in modeling. I have one. I honestly don't think I've actually had an issue.
Oh, that's good.
I've seen it, but as we spoke before, that energy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I see it before it gets to me, and then I know something ain't right. So I really haven't had any bad issues when it comes to me and mounting. The issues are out there though. It's all about paying attention to your surroundings, paying attention to who you deal with, being alert at all times, doing your research, like I mentioned before, know who you're dealing with, and who's in it for the reasons that you're in. Because you can get caught up in that also, and you try, especially when you're starting out, you're trying to learn from so many people that say they're in the same business or industry as you are, and half of them don't even know what they're doing in the first place, which also brings to me why I started my business, New Identity Modeling, because when I was starting, there wasn't anybody out there to show me or guide me. I self-taught, and I did my research, and I tried to, break barriers of things that people would say that you can't do, and I'm like, no, yes, I can, and I'm gonna make a way and find out how to do it the right way. Without having to depend on anybody else. Going back to that knowledgeable man we were talking about, the person, the millionaire. So so that's why. So you just have to be careful with that to keep yourself being that me too. Because that's not what you want at all. So again, just it's hard.
It is.
It's really hard.
Just me in being a businesswoman. I have been in situations when I was younger that I just didn't even imagine being in. And it's not where it was just a turn worse situation, but I know as a younger female that I probably, now that I'm older, wow, I was in that situation and I really shouldn't have been in that situation.
And that's a good point that you made, because people would always say, why did I wait so late? Because I didn't get into it until I was 33 years old.
Okay.
So that's why.
Yeah.
Now, if I was 16, 17, 18, I would have been that me too. You know what I mean? That would have been me, because I don't have the knowledge, and I wouldn't have even cared about it back then versus now. I would have fell into the hype. So I would not have made it as far or been.
So you wasn't as naive because you were older. You were more mature with it.
Absolutely. And everything happens for a reason, because I did want to try back when I was 18, and I'll never forget. I was in Houston, and me and my dad went to an audition. I forgot who it was. It was either Little Flip or Slim Thug was just coming out, and we had went out there, and my dad was like, yeah, no, this ain't it. Like, come on, let's go. I was like, okay, so I probably would have fell into that trap. So he saved the day. So but if it had just been me and my dad, if my daddy wasn't there and be like, hey, we going, like, I'm going with you, like, it's a we thing. Like, if I had went by myself, I would have, it probably wouldn't have happened. Like,
that's exactly what I was telling you. Like what I tell my daughter, you go with somebody, because they can even be the other eye that you probably can't even see. Right. Right. So, okay, one more question. I think I got one. So, have you ever had, everybody is on like mental illness, mental health, mental focus. Have you ever had that moment in your life to where you felt like things were just crazy?
Oh yeah, when I was growing up young, like my stories that I went through, yes, things was really crazy and out of hand, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't trying to hear what nobody had to say. So yeah, I
Did
definitely
you feel crazy?
I wouldn't say I felt crazy, but I definitely wasn't making the right decision like I should have been. Like I didn't care, let's just say. Like I had that attitude where I didn't care, like, so what? Yeah. Well, if this happened, did it? So, man, I heard about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in my right state of mind to make the right decisions, and to listen and to be aware and to know, what's going on and know what's going on, but just still don't care about what's going on. So, but now, no, because I've learned and I went through so much at a young age growing up that's why I say I don't regret anything I went through, because it brought me to who I am today, and I now know. Like, I'm not, my mental is great. I'm very aware and I know what's going on.
Have you ever had a time where you feel like you were at a mental weakness in life? Or have you been more able to grasp it and get a hold of it to where you don't go there far out?
I'm definitely able to grasp it. I'm definitely able to have that moment where I say, you know what, let me chill out for a minute. Let me sit down. Let me get my thoughts together. Let me figure this out. Because I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. So I don't question a lot of things. I just go with it and I try to get an understanding. Because things we go through is always a lesson. And like I said, we learn every single day. So you have to look at it as a lesson, or what was this teaching me, or what did I miss? Or, you just have to really take the time to think about it.
You got to process it.
Absolutely. You have to take that break.
What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yes,
Counsel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're very in tune with our emotions.
Yes.
So don't go there.
Yes.
We ain't no crybaby.
Yes.
We just are in tune with ourselves. Okay. You know.
I'm telling you, my last coworker, she was a counselor, and I was solid on counselors then because she cried all the time.
Right.
She was either mad or she was crying or she might have a happy moment in between.
Right. And that's when we cry. Like, that's the only time I cry. Because I freaking hate crying. Like, and I hate to see people cry. Like, I was the total opposite. If I'm crying, I'm mad and get out my way. Yeah. That's the only time I really get down and crying. But other than that, I don't. And I think that goes back to the whole mental thing because I have learned how to control that. I've learned how to grasp it. I've learned how to react to certain things, you know. So it's like you have to really take me there to break me down like that and to make me cry until I'm at a point where I'm just like, you know what? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, me against the world, baby. Like,
because counselors, like with her, because I worked with her closely, they're so genuine people.
We are.
And when they love you, they love you. And they're freaking love super hard.
We do. And like, I said that. We love super hard.
Crazy hard.
And we also will dislike you really hard.
Yeah.
Like, there's no in between with us. We either wish you or we not.
Yes,
baby. And we are okay with that. Okay.
Yes. I'm a Capricorn. I don't think I could have ever been with a counselor. I'm just, he would have been in the closet. So
right.
When it works.
Right.
When it works, you know, and threw him some bread and told him to shut up. Shit. But yeah, quiet and shit.
Right.
Put my hands up. I done quiet and shit. Ain't gonna work. I'm a Capricorn. Right. Okay. Well, we'll be right back, y'all.
Let's take him on.
All right, welcome back. So let's keep going at it. Do you think that your soulmate is in this state?
No. That's funny you asked me that. I just thought about that last week. No, he's not. He's not here.
So how you gonna get to him?
I'm gonna find him because you know I told you I travel.
Okay.
You know, my little modeling thing keep me busy, so I'll be moving and
so
grooving.
So you willing to do a long distance?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love a long distance. Yeah, because that'll really test you. You know,
will. And you get to learn a person and all of that.
Yes. And then because I'm so busy too, you know, I feel like here I'm so pressured because it's like, well, you live right around the corner or you right down the street. You can no, I'm doing so much. But then it's like having setting up those times
that
we
time
meet every 2 weeks. I come there, you come here,
taking you away from the daily world.
Yes, I would love that. I got a show in Vegas. Why don't you come down to Vegas with me and we can spend time together then, or wherever he's staying. And maybe say he's staying in Florida. Oh, well, I got a show in Florida. When I come down there, I'm gonna stay down there a week, and after my show, you can come. I would love that.
Okay,
I would love that.
All right.
So don't worry about me.
Don't worry about it. Anybody else in the other states?
Don't worry about me. Everybody else. Because I feel like I've been here since 2007. Where he at? You know what I'm saying? It's 2024, so he ain't here.
Hey, you never know. I mean,
unless he just moved here and I missed it. But right now, I'm gonna say no.
I wasn't even there. I truly was not even expecting to get married. I was living my best life, so I wasn't even. It wasn't even. I wasn't the one who was like, I can't wait to be in no white dress and walking down the aisle, braiding my wedding and down and since a little girl and I've been on business and trying to sell stuff and do stuff and make money. That just wasn't in me. Yeah. So I think it's more of you just gotta do you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And because and I heard this where they said that God is the writer and we are the directors. Mm-hmm. To where we can direct our life, but it's already written.
Absolutely.
And so it's just on how you direct your life. You got to be in the right place, the right time, you know, with the right type of people and the right space in life.
Right.
It all plays a part.
Absolutely.
It all plays a part.
Totally agree.
And then I think, like I tell a lot of women, you have to get out of the norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the norm is the ones that mess shit up.
Exactly.
It's the ones that you're so used to.
Yeah.
And the ones that, you know, it's that same type.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to get out of that type because maybe that's not
your type.
You're not your type.
Yeah.
And the one that's,
right.
that
like
is totally different. But you're not paying attention to them
right.
because it's not your type.
Right.
So you got to get out your type
right.
too. You got to. And even if it's just to venture out when you're single,
that's
mingle.
Right. That's test the water.
Mingle. Because and then people be so ready to get into a relationship when if it's a for life relationship, why would you rush that?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Why would you rush being into a relationship for life when being with a person when you're single, you're supposed to be able to enjoy all of it.
Absolutely.
And I don't care what age. You can be young or you can be older.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You when you're single, enjoy that singleness. There's something about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Baby, you said years, baby.
You had a good age.
Yes, honey.
You had a good age.
Yes, I'm enjoying it. So I ain't even mad.
Okay, so if you can take away one, either financial stress or mental stress. If someone gave you a one and you could just take out one, which one would it be?
Cause see, right now my mental is good. Okay, yeah. So it's like I'm gonna take that financial stress off me. And what I mean is by that is it's not that it's a struggle, but it's just one of those things where I don't want to ever struggle. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? I want to always be good. You know what I'm saying? And I have my kids, and I want to make sure they good and I'm good. And I don't want to ever be like thinking, where is this gonna come from? Like, but I'm always stay on my grind regardless. So, I just feel like if my mental is always good, I'm gonna always find a way out of no way. So I'll go with to take the mental stress.
You'll take.
I'll take the mental stress.
So you'll take the financial stress away.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I don't know.
Yeah. I know it's hard.
It's
hard. It's hard.
It is because mental can mess
can.
you up.
It can.
You know.
I can't, but I just feel like I'm such at a good balance right now that I'm not even thinking about that because I'm like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
You're zenning right now. I'm zenning, baby. I'm zenning.
Like, golly. So, yeah.
Okay, I get that. So you are getting into the acting. If you were a little kid and your teacher said, which one would you want to be? A singer, a rapper, or an actor? Which one would you want to be?
I would want to be a singer.
What?
Yeah.
Can you sing?
No. That's why I want to be a singer because I can't sing. Well, I love me some karaoke, baby. But I said if I could blow, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. And I don't even want to be like no superstar singer. You know what I mean? Like out there. I want to be something like where you would hire me to come sing at your wedding.
Yeah.
You know, or sing at the funeral. I do all that too. Like at any event you may have, like I go on the road, do a little band. Have a live band behind me while I'm up there. You know, singing. Yes. So yeah, I would do something. I would if I could sing.
But you in acting though.
Acting
because you can't sing.
But I can't sing. Right. So just imagine if I could sing and act. They could tell me nothing. I'd be singing forever. They're gonna be mad at me because I'll be acting brand new. Okay. No. But no, I do wish I could sing. I would say a singer. I would.
Okay, a singer. So as far as acting, are you wanting to grow further into acting or?
No, not to be the actress, not to be famous or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, modeling is my passion. That's my baby. The acting just helps. It keeps me relevant. I'm still learning. You know, it's a learning thing. And even though I model, you still gotta kind of act when you're modeling. You know, you gotta put your mind frame on. Yeah, you have to do that. So it definitely helps and plays a part. But as far as like pursuing like a real career and saying yes, I want to be an actress, no, that's not an end goal for me.
Have you had a moment in modeling where you just didn't feel comfortable?
Yeah, last year. I didn't feel comfortable at all last year. The whole year. I just went through a stage where I was just like kind of over it. but I still loved it, but I was over it. I didn't want to quit. I'll never quit. I don't like to be a failure, so I always made sure that I had to stick with it and I was going to do it. So I just took like a mental break, I guess you could say, away from it and kind of like just think things through and trying to find another process, try to rebrand, try to regroup, trying to do a lot of different things. Because last year for me, for modeling was not it. And then that's when I started doing the acting thing. Actually, I started getting into that. Else. Yeah, I started getting more into the acting. Started doing more, trying to get more, doing more extra roles. Started learning more about the business. Started, just learning a whole new different, field, just to see how it was. And if it was like, just to see like the difference in how you go about moving around in the industry and, what all goes into play behind it and things like that, just to see how it falls in. Because, even though I had started out, because that's how normally people say, like, we're looking for models to play this one part. Yeah. So that's how it started. So I was like, okay, I'm a model, not an actress. Let me try it and see. And then doing videos and things like that. Yeah. So I just took a break from it just for that aspect and just trying to get an idea how things work. But I'm back though.
What made you start up your modeling agency, and what is it actually based around?
Well, again, like I mentioned before, I didn't have really no direction or on the modeling thing. Of course, you got the schools, I had the Casablancas and all that kind of stuff, and I tried that, and it's just like, man, it wasn't. I didn't feel like the focus was on me. No, because it's so many. Yeah, it's definitely the money, and it's so many of us. And it's like I can't. I don't feel that one-on-one.
And now they do most of it online now.
And they do it online. Right. And I definitely didn't want to be taught that way. I'm not really learning anything. Like, you just tell me to come here, walk, and then that's it, and leave and pay the money, and then I'm not getting booked for anything. So, and then of course throughout my journey, the things that I came across, the good and the bad of it, and trying to learn people, like, because before I got into it, I didn't know anybody. Like, I didn't get out, I didn't go out and where I was the family, thing, and so I didn't know anything, and that really put me out there. Excuse me. And my very first fashion show was in Las Vegas with Chris Brown's mom and Kevin Mays from Black Panther.
Okay.
That was the best experience ever.
That was your first experience?
My very first fashion show. Oh. And it was the best experience that I had. And everybody was so nice. They were great. They were pleasant. I loved it. I was like,
how did you get into that as your first?
So what happened was I went to a fashion show in Oklahoma as support for someone else. I was just there in the audience. And when it was all over with, one of the designers approached me and was like, hey, were you in the show? And I was like, no. I was like, I was, here for support. And she was like, do you model? I was like, no. And at this time I wasn't modeling. And I was like, no. I said, no, I haven't been modeling. And she was like, well, would you be interested in modeling? And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And she was like, well, I'm a designer. She was like, but I live in Texas. And I was like, well, I live in Texas. She was like, where about? I was like, in Dallas. She was like, I live in Dallas.
Oh,
I was like, okay.
Right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time. And she was like, well, I would like to set up a meeting with you when we get back, and so we could talk. And I was like, all right, cool. So I ended up going back, and we started talking, and she started helping me, but she wasn't a model coach. She was a designer. But she'd been in the game a long time, so she knew the ins and outs. Right, she knew the ins and outs. And she was like, just show me your walk. And so she was like, well, you got something with you. She was like, we can work with this. And she started showing me different things. And I started doing some modeling for her line at the time. And she was like, you know what? She was like, there's actually a show coming up. She was like, and I want to see if you want to try it. She said, I know it's going to be your first one. She was like, but I just want to see if you would be interested in, and just get a feel for it, see if it's something you want to do. And she told me about it. And I was like, who? And she was like, yes, and so. So I was like, okay, yeah, I want to go. And Vegas, I love Vegas. Like, Vegas is like my second home. I went all the time. And so we went, and she got me down there with them and linked up with them, and it was all she wrote. And ever since then, I've been modeling.
Nice. You took off from there. Well, okay.
Yeah. So
nice.
Right, and so ever since then I started doing more modeling, so I was just like, oh, I like this. So then I started doing my own research. I started doing networking. I started moving around. I started getting out more. I started doing different things and just doing my own thing to learn more and more and more. And then I started getting out there more. People started recognizing me. People started to notice me. Like, where did I come from? Like, how did you get into this? And I'm thinking, like, I just did this. I don't know. I just did it by myself. It's just me. I'm not with nobody. Like, what company were you with? And so many people started coming to me and questioning me and asking me how they can do it. And I was like, you know what? Let me just start my own thing and see if I can start helping other models and you know, just putting them in the right direction and just start coaching and mentoring them and things like that. Like, I don't want to be an agency. I just wanted to be there to help them and guide them. So, and that's just how I got started. It's been going ever since.
Okay. And you I always stumble into your purpose. So
right.
That's stumbling into it.
And that's what, and I was questioning that, you know, years back, like after my last relationship, like what was my purpose? What am I, because like I said, I was lost for those 2 years. Like it took me 2 years to get it together. And I was just like, this is it. This was it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm loving life right now. It's good. So
I love it. I love it. Yolanda, the model. I definitely appreciate you for coming, showing up, talking to us. I hope that ladies that's following some type of journey that you have going on, if they follow that same type of journey, I hope that they learn something out of your experiences and what you went through. I appreciate you for being with us, and this was an awesome interview.
Yes, it was.
Yolanda, the model.
Thank you.
Check us out, and we will be back for our next episode. Give them your links one more time. I know we did it at the beginning, but we want to make sure we got it out there.
Right, it's going to be Yolanda, the model. The model's all one word, and also New Identity Modeling LLC on all platforms. So y'all make sure y'all go follow me and check me out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sleek Talk with Yvette and Yolanda, the model. We'll see y'all next time.